Good morning and welcome to the Business Next Door. This is episode 7 and I am your trusted host, Ben, with the Chamber. And this morning I am here with Sarah and Rachel. No, Sarah and Rachel.
We just went with it.
Sarah and Rachel from Primary Health Network. I'm so glad that they're here today. I was just talking to them earlier that we have a local Greenville Primary Health Network Center, and I unfortunately know very little about it. So this is going to be very informative for me today, and hopefully for a lot of you out there as well. So why don't we just get started and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at the Primary Health Network.
Sure. I am the marketing director right now for Primary Health Network. I started at the foundation as a community relations specialist, and just as of recently in December, I moved over to the network with this wonderful employee over here, it's a coworker. Rachel, so you can go ahead.
I am Rachel Reichert. I've worked for the Primary Health Network for about a year and a half. I also work in the marketing department, so I create and distribute a lot of our marketing materials and just work on getting the word out there about PHN.
So both of you are exactly who we want to talk to today about the Primary Health Network. Why don't you give us a brief history of PHN?
Sure. Well, the Primary Health Network started about over 30 years ago as one small site in Farrell, Pennsylvania, with one practicing provider and one part-time provider. Now has grown into over 14 counties, over 46 practicing sites, and over 500 employees, which include supporting staff and physicians.
That is fantastic growth.
Yes.
Fantastic growth. What are some of the programs and services that Primary Health Network has to offer, as well as the charitable foundation?
Sure. Well, the Primary Health Network has everything from primary care to dental, to behavioral health, to specialty care services. So that's a little brief history on, or well, not history, it's what we have, of our services. And a lot of those services are offered locally, not just in the Greenville area, but Shenango Valley, so community members can access them, quite quickly.
Yeah, I believe we have Shakelyville, Jamestown, and Transfer. So there are.
He's good.
Yes, there's one very close to you where you can access that.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Do you want to talk about the sliding fee?
At the Primary Health Network, we also offer a sliding fee scale to our patients who don't have any health insurance, or maybe patients who are underinsured, who don't have coverage for certain services. It is based on household income and household size, and based on that scale, you can see our providers for as little as $0. And we also have a 340B prescription program where we contract with local pharmacies to offer discounted pricing on medications. And there are no income qualifications for that program.
Wow, that is an amazing service for the communities that we live in. That is fantastic that's how you guys operate. What about the charitable foundation?
Sure. One of Primary Health Network's initiatives is to continuously break down barriers that most individuals face when receiving quality care. So to do that, we began our charitable foundation that breaks down some of those barriers, which would include transportation. We have a Provide the Ride program that is offered to Primary Health Network patients free of charge. To qualify, they must not have a vehicle, not an operating vehicle, or they have a vehicle and they don't have money to put gas in it to get to one of their preventative care appointments. Just last year, we provided over 16,000 rides for patients in need throughout Mercer, Lawrence, Beaver, and now Clarion County.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, that's something that, you would like to think you would never run into that. But, people fall into circumstances where that is exactly what they need, and that's an incredible service to provide. That's awesome.
It is. And to extend upon some of those services just a little bit more, we do have a scholarship program. So any individuals out there going into the healthcare field, please look on the Charitable Foundation's website. Hopefully we can provide a link maybe
Absolutely.
somewhere. They go live in November, and we've given away over $160,000 to students going into that particular field.
That is great in today's, people looking for a job and costs of school and all of that. That's awesome that you are encouraging people to enter that field, because we certainly need it in where we're at today. What is your favorite? I'll let both of you answer this. What is your favorite? We'll start with you, Rachel. What's your favorite part of your job at Primary Health Network?
I would say my favorite part is definitely all of the employees. Being in marketing, I'm out and about working, hand in hand with a lot of the sites. Our providers are wonderful. They really care about quality of care. And all of our employees just live our mission every day, which is so important to providing access to quality care for the community. So I feel truly blessed to work with so many wonderful people who are making a difference in our service areas.
Makes it easy to get up in the morning and go and do
Exactly.
your job. That's good. What about you, Sarah?
I would just have to extend upon that. I mean, even the patients. We do a lot of patient testimonials on how our services have benefited them, and the stories are just heart-wrenching in a good way, because they're inspiring, and it makes you feel like you're kind of putting a mark on the community that you love to live in. So,
Is there any way that people watching or later on, whenever this is posted on the website, where people can go and actually read those stories?
most definitely.
Okay.
You can go to our website, www.primary-health.net. I say that enough times a
That's
day. You
okay.
think I would mess that up. Again, www.primary-health.net. And you can sign up for our newsletter. We send that out every month, which includes an inspiring story from one of our patients in all of the areas that we serve. So I highly encourage people to do that. It even talks about some of the new and upcoming things that we have going on in the network.
That is fantastic. Over the years working with Downtown Ministries and even where we're at today, the gallery, we have just found that connecting with people through actual real life stories and experiences that have happened is hands down the best way that you can communicate who you are to other people. So that's great that you have that and have that in your newsletter. So be sure to visit the website and sign up for their newsletter. What is a common misconception that of your industry that you're in, the healthcare industry? I'm sure there's a lot of misconception there. But what would you say is the biggest thing that maybe you face that you would like to clarify, maybe even in particular with Primary Health Network?
Where does the list begin? I was told that we are an insurance company, which we're most certainly not, but we take all insurances. A hospital is one of, I think, the biggest misconceptions that we receive when out in the community and educating. And I think that's just in general with a lot of practicing physicians in the area. You're just assumed that you're a hospital, when in fact we work directly with hospitals. They support us coming into the community because we educate patients. We save taxpayers money by educating, so they're not going to unnecessary ER visits and coming and getting their preventative care. But we're definitely not that. We do have an urgent care in Clarion County, but definitely not a hospital.
Okay. So this is then your primary care, where you want to go first. These are what you guys are really focused on, and the education part is probably the most important, I think. So that's fantastic that that's sort of up there with in regards to how you relate to your patients, is educating them. Preventative stuff, I'm sure, all the time. What are some of Primary Health Network's major accomplishments this past year? So we've already seen that primary health has gone from this very small, unique setting to just boomed. And that is so fantastic to see a local, a local mission like that just sort of explode and do so well and employ so many people. So in this past year alone, what really stands out as some of your major accomplishments?
Just this past year alone, we opened 3 new sites. We opened a very large behavioral health center in Rochester in Beaver County. We're serving a large population in need of behavioral health services down there. We also opened a school-based health center. It's a health center inside a school. So we offer services to the students, but also to the general public as well in Erie, inside Wayne School. And we're serving a Nepali population up there. There are a lot of refugees that live in that area that are in great need of access to health care. And then we also opened a community health center in Warren, PA, in Warren County. So just in the past year alone, we've opened 3 new sites.
That is great. And there's some big stuff happening in Sharon as well, right? You guys are building your headquarters, I guess,
Yes.
there. And I know that's even making an impact on the business community there.
Yes.
For instance, is there like now a new coffee shop that opened because there was, I don't know, is that even true? I heard there was like a coffee shop that opened, and I love coffee, so whenever I hear about that, that's just fantastic.
Yes.
That opened because, you know, Primary Health was expanding and really investing in the downtown community, and people needed their morning coffee when they
Yeah.
were working downtown.
Yeah, they even opened up a creamery with Penn State. So now Penn State ice cream is actually offered in the Valley. You can go and get as much as you want. It's kind of like a meeting place as well. So people from the community, students, employees, everyone can come together and kind of just congregate in one area and have your coffee, have your ice cream, which is terrible for us because it's right there. But there's it's really, really revitalizing the downtown area, and I'm extremely proud to be a part of a company that is doing something like that. It's actually, this building is going to be the first new building in downtown Sharon since the 1960s.
That's exciting, very exciting. I'm excited to see where that's going to continue to go, and you know, we hope the best for that, and we're so happy that you do have, you know, those 4 local in our northern Mercer County territory, those 4 local primary health network centers that our community can take advantage of and access. What are some things then to look forward to from Primary Health Network? You just said, you know, they're going to be building a new building downtown. What else maybe do we have to look forward to?
Well, we're actually opening up a few new sites closer to Philly. Shamokin, which I love that name. Who doesn't love Shamokin? And then also Schuylkill County. We're going to be opening up not opening, we're assuming a practice in that area. And I have to tell you, that community is so excited to have us there. They don't have a lot of care in that area, so for us to come in and assume this practice and continue to build it and have them have access to this quality care, I mean, they wrote petitions into government officials, everything, and I can't wait to see where that practice grows there, especially.
That's exciting to see. The need is there, and Primary Health is stepping up for the occasion. That's awesome. Sum up this is something we ask all of our all of our interviewees. Summing up doing business in Greenville in 2 words.
This is something I was thinking about last night. PHN offers so many services, it's hard to sum up any site or anything that we do really. But in Greenville, I would say comprehensive and accessible. A lot of people might not know, at our Greenville location alone, we not only offer family medicine, we have chiropractic services, behavioral health and psychiatry, and pediatric services. So we offer a wide variety. Our site is literally just down the street from where we're sitting right now. So that's what makes us accessible. We're right in town. We're only half a mile away from Teal College, so the students can access that care as well. So it's just great to have that, right here for the community.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maybe the last thing is how sort of a call to action for our viewers. How can our community get engaged? So, what's maybe the first steps with, our local networks here, and then with the Charitable Foundation, because we have a very giving community, and who, I'm amazed to see how Greenville really steps up whenever there is a need that lays on their heart. So first, with the first steps in engaging with our local networks, what would they do?
I would just say go on into the site, go on in, take a look around. Somebody will be happy to show you around, introduce you to the providers if they're available. Just see what the site is like and if you feel comfortable there, and we're more than happy to schedule an appointment based on your needs. And if you have any further questions, like Sarah said, definitely visit our website. There is a ton of information on all of our services that we have been talking about. So just go on in and get familiar, and hopefully you'll see that what we've been saying, we provide quality care, and we're here to help you in any way we can.
Right.
That's great.
And with the foundation, we're always having events. We're always, always, always looking for volunteers, because giving your time is probably the best thing that you can give, and we need it. We need the help. We're always trying to raise money and look for funding to continue providing these services, because as I said, a lot of these are free of charge to our patients who really, really need access to this care.
Is the newsletter another way that maybe we can learn where there are volunteer opportunities?
Most definitely. Everything in that newsletter, as we just talked about right here, is going to be included. So yes, there's always an opportunity.
Great. Do you hear that, Greenville students? Do you hear that, Teal students? There are volunteer opportunities at Primary Health Charitable Foundation. Check it out. We'd be happy to post any of that with the chamber newsletter that goes out, and even we post some of your events that are happening. So we're happy to continue to do that and help you in any way that we can in getting the information out there. I want to thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
We do have a little bit time. I am going to check my our Twitter account and see if anyone tweeted a question. We haven't had one yet. So maybe just Greenville's not, Twitter savvy, which is okay. Doesn't look like we have any questions. Kind of sad.
Well,
But
next time, Rachel and I said that we're getting on, and we're going to get on Twitter, and Primary Health Network will be your first tweet question.
I will so appreciate that. I will so appreciate that. It will make it worth it. Thank you so much. Whenever we've had a little time, I've asked some fun questions at the end. What are you binge watching on Netflix right now?
I'm always late on everything, it seems like. I am just finishing up The Office, and it makes my day. I go home and I laugh.
Very good show. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. The American or British?
The American.
Have you watched the British?
No, but once I'm done with this, I'm going to need more of that, so I'll definitely go to the British version.
Okay.
I actually don't have Netflix or Hulu. We do have cable, so I do have TV. I love watching anything on the Food Network. I love to cook,
Okay.
so I could watch that all night long.
Stay as far away from Netflix as you can
Yes,
for as
it's
long as you
addicting.
can. That is great. Currently, I am into Portlandia, which I love Portland, Oregon, and the last time I was there, I asked some Portlandians how true Portlandia was to Portland, and they said it couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, it is so closely true to how Portland actually is.
Oh my gosh.
So, and it's a comedy, but it's silly.
Watch that.
I do want to give a shout out before we leave to Life's a Yarn. Evian, my girl Evian on Main Street with Life's a Yarn hooked me up with this vintage bow tie that I had to learn how to tie this morning for it.
You tied that?
Yeah,
Oh my
it was very
goodness.
difficult. It took me like 5 or 6 tries.
Oh, wow.
And I also want to thank Reeves Information Technology again for providing this wonderful service of these live videos. So join us next time. We don't have anyone signed up yet, so if you're a chamber member and you're looking for an interview, we would love to interview you. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.